Listen close, because what follows is intended not as gentle counsel, but as a thunderous call to awaken. You are not drifting through existence by accident. There is a blueprint. There is a design underpinning your days, a purpose woven through your trials, your failures, your successes, your joys, and your sorrows. And this design is not yours to sidestep. You may live convinced that life is a series of random events, accidents, coincidences, chance. But that narration is a lie of the enemy meant to lull a wandering soul into resignation. No, there is a divine plan. There is intention beneath what men call chaos. There is meaning behind the moments that seem meaningless. The call laid upon your life is not some afterthought, not an aftershock of random existence. It is primary, it is foundational, immovable. Too many have wandered for years, chasing comfort, chasing fleeting pleasures and hollow dreams, only to awaken with the sickening realization, I have wasted years, I have drifted, but the sovereign plan does not throw people away. It redeems, it recovers, it reorients. The lostness is not final. The wanderer can be brought into alignment, but it demands repentance. It demands surrender. It demands the renunciation of self-rule. You cannot say, I will follow this plan, but only on my terms. That is futility. That is the enemy's trap. If the plan is truly powerful, then submission is required. Know this. The purpose meant for your life is neither trivial nor inert. It is deadly serious. It cuts across the comforts you love. It may demand suffering. It may require sacrifice. It may lead to seasons of persecution, misunderstanding, loneliness. But its weight is worth bearing. No man or woman who carries the grand design lives a life of wasted potential. Even when rejected, even when despised, even when mocked, the one walking that purpose presses on because there is a higher claim on the life. There is a divine imperative that overrules applause or criticism. To discover that purpose, you must first accept that your own wisdom is insufficient. You must cast aside the arrogance that insists you can chart a course better than the blueprint already laid. You will stumble when you lean on your own understanding, when you plot a path in secret motives. The plan will be veiled to those who exalt self. Pride blinds. Humility opens the eyes. Then you must enter into the hard work of knowing, of listening, of waiting. This is not a quick formula. No checklists guaranteeing success. It is the slow forging of character. It is the patient molding of the soul. It is the painful slaying of idols. Idols of ambition, security, approval, autonomy. Many think the plan consists of something outward, a job, a marriage, a ministry, a calling. Yet the true first call is inward. Turn from your own desires, rend the veil of self, walk mortified to self, love. That is the furnace in which the purpose will be revealed. When the plan is disclosed, you will sense the weight of it. It will not feel like a hobby, a sideline. It will proffer burden, responsibility, a cause. You may tremble when you first glimpse what is required. That is normal. The path will confront you with the necessity of faith, faith to do what no man could muster in his own strength, faith to obey when outcomes are unclear, faith to persevere when darkness clouds every circumstance. Many shrink back, many refuse, many whisper excuses, but the person who steps forward into that revealed plan awakens to purpose. Do not imagine that purpose will fit neatly into your comforts. Expect conflict. Expect uprooting. Expect seasons of wilderness where everything pressed upon you screams to retreat. But that is precisely where the plan is tested and solidified. In those crushing seasons, you will discover whether the purpose is alive or dead in your soul. If the blueprint is real, you will never be able to settle for less again. The call will haunt you. Why are you not doing that which you were made to do? Be warned, There will be voices. Friends will mock. Family may withhold support. The culture will assail. Some will demand a quieter life, an easier route, compromise. Reject that enticement. The world's applause is shallow, fickle. The applause that matters is that which aligns with divine intention. Your measure is not what men say, but how faithful you are to the blueprint. You must speak truth even when it is unwelcome. You must act courageously when cowardice offers ease. You must serve when serving seems to demand too much. You must love sacrificially when self-interest screams louder. You must endure when every cell of your being cries to quit. That is how a plan of purpose is activated, not by great ideas, but by steadfast obedience in the small, daily steps. There is no life too broken to be claimed by the plan. There is no history too shameful to disqualify from purpose. Yes, the enemy loves to dredge your past, to toss shame into your path, to taunt you with failures and remind you of the cost. But those are the very materials used to weave the greater tapestry. The plan transforms weakness into strength, grief into fruit, crucifixion into resurrection. Do not hide in that shame. Let it be exposed, handled, sanctified, put to use in service of the greater cause. You cannot walk that path in passivity. You must take intentional steps. You must choose daily, hourly, I will orient my life toward this purpose. That may mean radical pruning. That may mean letting go of relationships, comforts, dreams previously held as sacred. It may mean stepping into what the world calls foolishness. But the one who moves as if the plan matters will find that doors open. Doors that would never open for the one riding the whim of convention. The path will demand faithfulness in hidden areas. Your motives will be tested in solitude, in secret hours when no one watches. In those moments, your true constitution will show. If you betray integrity at small things, you will not be trusted with greater things. Be faithful in the scaling, faint tasks. Be reliable when no one is applauding. That is where character is built. That is where the blueprint grows from potential into reality. Expect delay, but do not lose hope. Years may pass before light breaks, but the time is not wasted if faith is exercised. The delay is part of training. The delay forges patience, perseverance, trust. The delay reshapes desires. Never doubt that the blueprint is in motion, even if the horizon is hidden. The trajectory is unseen, but its gravity pulls you upward. When the purpose begins to manifest, the world will test you. You will face opposition. You will be misunderstood. You will be attacked. The pressure will mount. But if you collapse under pressure, then the plan halts. If you endure, then what seemed like suffering becomes the instrument by which the design is established in your life. Let no one distract you with a plan of convenience. There are many counterfeit purposes offered in shiny wrappers: fame, wealth, comfort, popularity, autonomy. They lure with ease, but they break. They crack under pressure. They crumble before death. The authentic plan will bear the weight of eternity. The counterfeit will fade. You must guard against pride even in success. When the purpose advances, do not begin to believe that you caused it. Do not boast. Do not inflate. Always remember the glass from which the water flows, the source beyond yourself. Let humility be your companion as purpose moves through you. Let gratitude saturate every victory. Let love be your compass, and let your life be a testimony not of what you achieved, but of what was done through you when you surrendered. Let the blueprint not become a pedestal for your ego, but a canvas for the transformative work of grace. Let others see in you not a celebrity, but a servant who walked a narrow road, who paid the price, who stayed the course. Therefore, be relentless, do not grow weary, do not compromise, do not shrink back, do not settle for lesser dreams or safer paths. The blueprint carved in eternity demands that you march. You must be courageous. You must be bold. You must die to self daily so that this purpose may live. If that means walking through valley after valley, through shadows thick and dark, then walk. If that means bearing the cross of rejection, loss, affliction, then bear. If that means being misunderstood, maligned, ignored, then endure. You are worth that fight. This life is worth that fight. The purpose awaiting you is worth every tear, every struggle, every broken moment. Do not resign yourself to a mediocre existence. Do not whisper to your soul that comfort is ultimate. Comfort is a mirage. The cost of following is heavy. The cost of not following is eternal regret. Let this resolve settle in your bones. You will not live aimlessly. You will not drift. You will move toward the purpose. You will recalibrate every ambition, every decision, every relationship, every investment in your time, so that it aligns. You will daily ask, does this honor the design? Does this forward the purpose? If the answer is no, you will reject it. If it is yes, you will embrace it, though it leads through fire. You are being formed. The blueprint is being written in your character, your soul, your obedience. Keep the vision before you. Write into your heart the command to persevere, to endure, to trust beyond your sight. In patience, serve. In boldness, act. In humility, lead. In love, sacrifice. Take this as your charge from today. You will not delay. You will not shrink. You will step toward that divine intention with your whole being. You will not allow fear or doubt or shame to whisper that you are unworthy or doomed. Instead, you will argue against them with every fiber. You will live as one convinced that existence is not a cosmic accident, but a stage upon which the grand design unfolds. You will fight, you will endure, you will overcome. Live as one under the weight of that plan, for only then will life's deepest meaning, life's deepest joy, life's deepest peace become known. God has a specific, intentional plan and purpose for your life. This is not poetic exaggeration, nor is it some abstract theology reserved for a few elite individuals. It is a divine reality, fixed before the foundations of the world. You are not a mistake. You are not the sum total of your failures, your past, or even your current understanding of yourself. You are not here simply to exist, to breathe in and out, to gather possessions, to entertain yourself to death, and then vanish into oblivion. You are not random. Your life, your story, every breath you take it has meaning, because there is a divine mind behind it. A holy and righteous God has orchestrated your being, and He has done so with intention and purpose. Do you understand the weight of that? That before your parents knew each other, before your first cry filled a hospital room, before your first sin, and long before you were aware of God, He knew you. He formed you. He knitted you together in your mother's womb. That is not poetic symbolism, that is revelation. That is the terrifying and glorious truth that every heartbeat of yours is sustained by the will of the Almighty. You are not your own. You were made for something. You were made for Him. Now the modern mind rebels against that. It wants autonomy. It wants to write its own script, define its own identity, blaze its own trail, and in that freedom people are choking. They are drowning in confusion and despair, not because they lack opportunity, but because they have abandoned purpose. If you are your own God, then every failure is final. Every fear is yours to carry. Every direction is guesswork, but if there is a Creator, if there is a God who knows the end from the beginning, then you do not need to manufacture meaning, you need to submit to it. God's plan is not vague. It is not open to personal revision. It is specific, it is intentional, and it is rooted in His character. That plan for your life will never contradict who He is. It will never call you to sin. It will never exalt you above His Son. It will never glorify your name above His. The purpose for which you exist is to know Him, to love Him, to serve Him, to reflect Him, and to be conformed to the image of Christ. Everything else is secondary. Now hear this. The reason so many people live confused, depressed, anxious, and broken is because they are trying to find purpose apart from the one who created them. That is the great rebellion. That is what happened in the Garden of Eden. The lie was this: you can find purpose and fulfillment apart from God. You can be like Him without Him. That lie still whispers today. It whispers in universities, in media, in culture, in conversation. And it always leads to ruin, always. God's purpose for your life is not first about what you do, but who you are in Him. Before He calls you to serve, He calls you to Himself. You must not be deceived into thinking that His plan is merely about a career, a calling, a marriage, a ministry, or a mission field. All of those things may be part of His plan, but they are not the plan. The plan is that you be reconciled to Him through Christ, that you walk in holiness, that you live for His glory, that you know the joy of obedience, the power of grace, and the peace that passes understanding. And yes, He may use you in mighty ways, but never forget, it is possible to serve in great ways and still miss Him entirely. It is possible to speak His name and not know Him. You were created for Him. That is why nothing else satisfies. You can gain every earthly success, every relationship, every affirmation, every dream fulfilled, and still wake up empty. Why? Because you were not made for those things. You are made for Him. His presence is your purpose. His glory is your goal. His will is your delight. When you begin to see that, your life begins to take shape. Suddenly, the pain you've endured, the trials you've walked through, the questions you've wrestled with, none of it is wasted. None of it is random. It is all being used to conform you to the image of Christ, to bring you deeper into communion with the one who made you. And make no mistake, His plan for you is not a smooth road of uninterrupted joy and ease. This is not a health and wealth gospel. This is not a self-help message. This is the call to die to yourself, to pick up your cross, and to follow Christ. That is the plan. That is the purpose. And there is no greater honor. There is no greater peace. There is no greater fulfillment. But do not assume that God's plan is limited to the spiritual realm. It touches every part of your life. Your relationships, your work, your finances, your decisions, your dreams. All of it is under His lordship. All of it must be brought under His direction. There is no sacred versus secular divide. Everything you do is either in obedience to His plan or in rebellion against it. You don't get to carve out areas of independence and say, "This is mine." It's all His. And until you realize that, you will always feel the dissonance of living a divided life. Some of you have spent years running. You've known deep in your heart that God was calling you, that there was something more. And yet you resisted. You made excuses. You buried the conviction under busyness, entertainment, or sin. You told yourself, "I'm not qualified. I'm too broken. I'll do it later. Maybe I missed my chance." And the enemy rejoiced in your delay. But God is patient. He is long, suffering, and even now He is calling you again, not because He needs you, but because He wants you. Not because you have something impressive to offer, but because He delights in using the weak, the broken, the overlooked, to display His glory. There is no one too far gone. There is no past He cannot redeem. There is no deed where He cannot use. But hear this, the longer you wait, the more you resist, the more you harden your heart. the more you rob yourself of the joy of living in His plan. You can spend your life building a kingdom that will burn, or you can invest your life in something eternal. Choose wisely. Some of you are waiting for a sign. You say, God, show me your plan. And what you mean is, God, tell me exactly what job to take, what city to live in, what step to take next. But often, the plan is not revealed in detail. It is walked out in faith. You obey today. You trust Him now. You follow His word, and as you do, He leads you. The lamp to your feet is not a spotlight to your future. It is a lamp, one step at a time, one act of obedience at a time. That is how you walk in His plan. Stop chasing clarity more than you chase obedience. Clarity is often the reward of obedience, not the prerequisite. Too many people are paralyzed, waiting for a word, when God has already spoken. His plan for your life is found in His word. Read it, know it, obey it. If you are ignoring the clear commands of Scripture, do not expect further direction. Why would God give more light to someone who is already ignoring the light they have? You must be willing to let go of your own plans. That is the hardest part for most, because we grow attached. We have dreams, we have expectations, we have timelines, and when God's plan seems to collide with ours, we are tempted to doubt His goodness. But His ways are higher, His thoughts are deeper, His love is greater, and His plan is better, always. Look at the saints of old, Abraham, called to leave everything familiar and walk into the unknown. Joseph, betrayed and imprisoned before being elevated. Moses, called from obscurity to lead a nation. David, anointed as king but chased through caves. Paul, a brilliant man reduced to chains and stonings and beatings. None of them lived easy lives, but all of them walked in divine purpose, and none of them regretted it, because the presence of God is better than the absence of pain. His plan may break you before it builds you. But what it builds cannot be shaken. If you belong to Him, then you are called, and if you are called, then you are chosen for something more than survival. You are chosen to display His glory in the world, to reflect the beauty of holiness, to proclaim His gospel with your life and lips. You are chosen to suffer well, to love deeply, to endure faithfully. You are chosen to stand when others fall, to speak when others are silent, to run the race with perseverance. And the plan is not just about you, it is bigger than you. You are one thread in a tapestry that spans generations. What you do matters, your obedience matters, your faithfulness in the mundane matters. Because the God who sees in secret is the one who rewards openly, there will be days when the plan feels hidden. There will be seasons when you doubt, when the silence feels louder than the calling. But those are not signs that the plan has vanished. They are invitations to trust deeper. The plan has not failed. The purpose has not changed. You are still in His hand. So what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep wandering, keep chasing hollow dreams, keep trying to build a life on sand? Or will you surrender, fully, finally, completely, to the one who made you, who knows you